Good day, everybody, and welcome to episode 22 of my Krastorio series. And today we will be producing glass and silicon, hopefully. About the silicon, I'm not so sure, but the glass definitely. I'm pretty sure that I'll be there to reach the glass production today as well. But before we get started with anything, I decided to get rid of these guys here because they're making me quite nervous. They've settled quite near my coke production, and I can't tolerate this, so we're gonna start this episode with a nice and friendly turret creep. And yeah, so I've did most of the preparations that were necessary to produce everything, except for a few buildings which I need glass for. I figured that I would wait with these until I have set up the glass production. So, whoa, okay. The big worms are taking down my turrets, but that also means they're not taking down me. So, these guys are quite hefty. And there are a few of those, so the biters are finally having enough of me. I can't really understand why I'm such a friendly person. I just keep killing them. So it's time to research the rocket launchers soon. So I don't know, with these big guys, I'm possibly just gonna dance around them and do this. Because honestly, they have so many HP. Doing it with the sniper rifle was just not viable anymore. So instead I just went pooping down gun turrets. Well, this only works because I have the Fill For Me mod, but come on. This part of the game would be a little bit rough if I would be playing it from hand here. I don't mind. Okay, so big colony went down here. So, friends, before we get now into the secret arts of the glass and silicon production, well, it's not so secret, but I just made that up to make it sound more dramatic. I would be very, very happy about a thumbs up or a subscription to my channel to help me and my work growing. If you don't want to, I don't mind. Just keep watching. That's the most important part for me. Okay, we're just grabbed up all the turrets back into the inventory, and now I will go to expand my network of turrets a little bit more, because I feel like I want to be well defended here. Let's give them all the ammo I have in my pockets and head back home. Because this is the southern end of my fortress to be, and I don't get down to these premises that often. That's why I wanted to get rid of that huge biter nest down there that really made me nervous, because I don't get down here that often. Okay, so back to the fields of operation, and just like I said, I'm using the Helmod from here on to do a few more calculations, mostly to explain you guys why we're building what and how. So I changed that in the description below, so check it out if you're interested. This is a little tool which helps you to plan production lines, and that's something I did beforehand here. I planned a production line for glass and silicon, and this looks a little bit confusing at the first glance maybe, but it comes out pretty easily when we look at it. So I've set up a production line to produce 15 glass per second, so the base times here. Because 15 glass per second, that's one yellow belt, so I felt like producing one yellow belt of glass for starters would be a good thing. So, here we have it. This thing shows me that I need 45 sand per second to produce 15 glass per second. If we click in this, we get a little bit more of a detailed perspective on that. We see that we will need 45 furnaces to do so, and they will use 2.7 coal. We're going to configure that to coke. 1.6 units of coke per second for those. So this planner actually calculates the fuel demands of your systems. Also, I've set up another calculation on how to produce those 45 sand we need. So these are being produced by 6 crushers, which will pick up 18 stone, but whatever, that's pretty easy. So I figured if we are going to need 45 sand with 45 furnaces, this is going to be 3 smelter columns with 15 furnaces each, because this is something we can use yellow belts and everything will be fine. So let's get going, shall we? First step will be to introduce an input line to our new facility, which is able to accommodate 45 units per second. So one red belt only transports 30 units per second, so let's check that back into the Helmod. Maybe I had something. Oh no, we only need 18 stones per second. I was wrong there, so sorry. We only need those, so we only need one belt from this to keep going. Oh, I also noticed that my red belts are growing a little bit dim, but well, guess I will need some belts anyways. Okay, so this is going to be the stone input line for the whole facility we're setting up. So we have 45 furnaces being supplied by 6 crushers. That means we are needing 2 crushers for every smelter column. So I figured something like this. Going to set up the crusher. I will go like that. Let's leave enough space to get the loader in. So that's the loader. That's the splitter. Okay, there we go. We do that twice because that's for one array. And going to split this off here. Where are the red splitters? Oh, I had this. I made this smart thing last episode. There we go. Let's go for a red splitter. And let's go like this. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Oops. Okay. So I need to do it like that. Okay. So next up is going to be the output, and I'm going to funnel this right away into a neat little splitter. Whoops, there's a splitter living. Because this way I will have a packed up belt of sand, which we can use for the smeltering process. Also, I will need some coke. Well, I'm gonna snitch some coke here. It's not really smart to do that, but coke is so efficient as a fuel that I won't really be needing more than one lane of it. So I'm even going to splitter it off again into yellow belts, because yellow belts are just enough for that. But I need some fuel for this smelter array, and that's just going to be that. Okay, let's go like this, and we need energy. I still haven't set up a facility for power poles. I'm sorry, friends. We're going to do some larger power poles one day. Promise. And there we go. We already have the sand we need. Let's funnel these together like that. And next up will be 15 smelters. So the cliffs are really messing up my plans. So I guess I'll just build it in a way where we screw with the where we just say screw the cliffs, we just build it anyways. Okay. So there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9, 10. Oh well. Can't really use that place. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, that's a little bit cringy, but whatever. It works if you work it, you know. So, let's go for this. I'll fix this up once I have the cliff explosives, but until then, I'm just gonna ride it like that, you know. Doesn't need to be super efficient, just needs to work, you know. Okay, let's check out if a red one will work. I just hope a red one will be big enough. Oh, thanks. Okay. So that's that. We're going to need one for the sand. And then we're going to do that 3 times. But before I do that 3 times, I will be picking up a few units of glass and start producing the other machines I'll need for the next array. So, next up will be output, inserters, and just like that, our first glass smeltering array should be running once we power it up and give it some recipes to work with. So yeah, whatever. Can't use the space optimally with obstacles like that. So let's configure them with the glass recipe. Boom. Shift right click into shift left click. There we go. And we're set once this whole array is powered up. And I guess I'll take a few of those. And a few of those. Ah, yeah. Just like I figured, I'm gonna need the big ones. Not cool. Really not cool. Okay, I gotta go there. No! I don't have any good ammo on me. Oh man. This is like worst case scenario. Get the hell away from that, guys. Okay, so I've lost a few belts and okay, that's pretty scary. So I'm going to pick up some more ammo and fix up this stuff. So, what else got destroyed? Ah, there. Okay, anything else? Ah, there we go. So, 4 belts, 2 hoods, that's all. Okay, but where did these guys come from? I mean, seriously. Okay, whatever. As you might have noticed, we are under attack, and because of that, I've set up an automated production facility for walls, because it is about time to wall ourselves in. I figured as much. Because it's gonna be hard to defend this without walls overall. Okay. Let's keep going, shall we? So that means these areas here need some coverage as well. I mean, okay, it was quite oblivious of mine to keep an area where big smeltering arrays are working undefended, because smelters are outputting so much pollution. It was pretty obvious, honestly, that this had to happen. So for now, I'm not gonna be supplying the turrets with too much ammo, because I'm gonna wait where the most impact of the enemies will hit, because this way I can figure out where to fortify my defenses the most. So, okay, there we go. That was spooky. Going to pick up the power next, and there we go. So, first array of glass production. Let's ask the max rate calculator. Everything is even. This array produces 5 units of glass per second. Just the third of things that I wanted to produce. Okay. So next up will be filtration plants. I'm going to snitch a few units of glass more. No, I don't need to. Okay. So filtration plants will be necessary for the production of silicon, because we're going to produce quartz beforehand. So to do so, we will need engine units. Before I recorded this episode, I went over here to my intermediate production facility and set up this nice little array. It produces gear wheels for me, but it also produces engine units for me, because I've noticed that engine units are something we're going to need more in the future anyways, so I've decided to put up a little production array for that, to grab up some engines whenever we need them. So I'll need 11 of those. Already calculated that. We have the recipe over here, but we're gonna get there in a second. I've already set up some production for iron gear, for steel gear wheels and steel beams. If needed, I can grab a few of those, because these are really time consuming when you handcraft them. So I've prepared a few of those as well. And let's pick up a little bit more ammo. And I hope I'll get a car soon. It's about time. Should check out where the research is to get a car. Okay, also I've noticed that I forgot about the fast loaders. Shame on me, but for now I'm gonna leave it like that. I don't want to put up a production for the fast loaders, because honestly, we have enough work before us. So I'm just picking up a few doodads to keep going. Mainly a few more transport belts and other logistic gimmicks, and I'm gonna pick up a few more inserters because we're going to do a big amount of smelter arrays here, and I plan to run the glass and the silicon above the steel. Like, this is my basic idea right now. I don't know how much of this stuff is needed, and if I should already dedicate 2 lines for that. I possibly should. Okay. So, let's stop limiting this place. No limits. Walls without limits, friends. Walls without borders. Okay. It's just a small chest for walls. Okay. Then the next steps are clear. We're going to replicate this, of course. Another time. I want to keep this as slim as possible, so we're going to need 1 space for distance in general. Let's make that 2. That's for the coke. That's for the sand. That's for the inserters. That's the furnace 1, furnace 2, and this should be fine. I hope I didn't place it wrong, but that's the... I guess that's why people love blueprints. I think blueprints are boring, but everybody can decide that for himself. So I'm going to pick up another splitter here, and I'm going to pick my stones. Okay. Starting to use the pickup function on the Q button more and more. I didn't know about that a while ago, so there we go. I hope I didn't build too narrow now. But it should work. Yeah, of course it works. What am I thinking? I could have bought. I could have built a lot more close, I guess. Whatever. I guess I counted wrong somewhere in between, but it's not that important. Leaving not enough space is way worse. So there's definitely not enough firepower over here. So I need to interrupt my my workings here and head back over there. Luckily I'm working right now over here, so I can fix up and improve my defenses here. It's necessary. What? That was not what I wanted. I wanted to repair. Good old left right weakness strikes again. Okay. So I'm gonna ammo these guys a little bit up, because obviously they are necessary. And I'm going to put down a few more of those. Oh, only have yellows left, okay. So, a little bit more ammo again. Spiders are getting bigger at this point. Maybe I should, no, I can't research anymore. Weapon damage there. That's why it's time to go for the next tier of research, but we're getting there. I'll possibly should already research the military tech cards, because these will be most likely the things I want to have. Yeah. So they didn't produce too much yet. Probably need to expand my production capacities there as well. This is a rather small array after all. Okay. So the research is already done. Let's click that away, because I have a strong dislike against blinking things at the corner of my eye. Okay, let's check if that holds. So yeah, I can improve my damage for sure. So I'm going to leave this thing as it is, because we can already figure out how the rest of the glass production will work, and I will do that off cam, because the replication of these is not too interesting. I just wanted to have some work to do while the filtration thingies were still being produced. So let's head into this silicon production with the Helmod. So we are sitting at a situation where there will be 32 furnaces being supplied by 11 filtration plants that will output 30 quartz. This is going to be a pretty big thing. So we're going to use red belts for the sand, because 60 units of sand would be 4 yellow belts, and at this point I'll rather use the 2 red belts. So we're going to have a little bit of work here. So first up, I have to satisfy 8 crushers with stone. So we're going to grab this stuff here. And I'm going to dedicate a own lane of stone for this stuff here. So we can possibly already figure out that this array will live over here. So I have to check out where I will build up the other array. So I will go over here with it. But now that's not going to be enough place, because when we look at those guys here, we're having... Whoop, now I have it. We're having 11 of these buggers alone. This is going to be a pretty big array, so no chance to put it up over here. No. I think I'll head with my production towards this beautiful X-Forest. What X-Forest, you might think? The one I'm bombing down here. Because I think this is the most effective way to get the proper space I need. Maybe one day, when I have the ability to remove the cliffs, I'll do it differently, but until then, I think this is going to be the place I can use. A lot of things with the Krastorio mod are not too discernible for me, and I don't like to study the tech tree beforehand to calculate everything way before. I mean, I admire people who do that, actually, for their foresight and everything, but I'm more the kind of person who jumps into things heads-on and optimizes later. So there we go. This should provide me with enough room to get the whole thing going. So another thing is I'll need water. So where to get water? The next water source is down here. This is pretty far away, huh? Yeah, but there's no real alternative to that, so, well, let's pack our offshore pump and hope I have enough pipings. So... it's going to be a quite long water pipeline, so I'll have a few of those, but I'll produce a few more of them. I'm gonna use as many pipe to grounds as I can. I should have the water pumps here, right? Right. So there's some good old combat going on, but seems my turrets are winning it right now. So there we go. So here we have one of the good sides of the pipe to ground systems. They really cover up wide spaces, and this way I can transport water without using too much space. Because pipes are just so room excessive. Well, they take up so much room. So let's grab up another one of those, because we now need to head over there to transport the water here. But there we go. That's going to be our output. So, first step of this production chain will be to produce all the sand. So I thought, like, I produced the sand up here and lead it down towards the filtration plants, and then we're going to smelter the quartz crystals afterwards. So it's going to be a two-component production array, where we have as a first component this big old array of crushers and filtration plants being funneled into the smelters, which are not really divisible with 3. Fascinating. Okay, whatever. It's 2 times 16 then. First up will be the crushers. We need 8 of them, right? Right. Okay. So how to feed 8 crushers with stone, I wonder. I'm going to need 24 units of stone, so that's 1 red belt. So I'm going to put down 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? Right. Okay. So doing this with loaders would be one way. I mean, how did I do it here? Well, yeah, we're going to do the loader way, because this should be the easiest way to do it. Okay. Okay. I mean, this should work, right? No, it's only working for outputs like that, not for inputs. So I can output like that, but not... that's what I had the whole time a feeling like I had a mistake there. So yeah, it's 3 of them per second. So we're going to need 2 fast inserters or 3, almost 4 basic inserters each. Wow, that's a lot. But oh well, whatever. I don't mind. Let's give each of those guys his 4 inserters he needs. It's not like we're poor people here. That's why I went big on the inserters. So there we go. Outputting would be not really possible at this point, so... Oh, I need an input of 24 rocks, so we're gonna need a red one underneath here. I've made a mistake. So, we're going to need red belts here all the way. So I'm gonna replace that real quick. I wanted to do it this way anyways, so there we go. Okay. Because otherwise we wouldn't be feeding everything correctly. Okay. So this array will now output 60 units of sand for us, which means we will take the output of 4 machines and put it onto 1 red belt. To do so, I'll have decided to use yellow loaders, and I'm gonna migrate them like this. So bear with me, I have something in mind. So this will ultimately lead into a red loader. No, wait a sec. These are producing 7.5. No, that's not necessary yet. The red one is the last step, so that's 7.5 each. Yeah, exactly. And now comes the red one. Now comes the red one. So this should leave this packed as a 30 unit belt if I didn't make any bigger mistakes there. So we're going to make that. Oh, I could have done that already there, but whatever. Let's do it like this for symmetry's sake. So there we go. Okay. Now then. Let's see how the filtration plants will work. They'll need 60 units of sand for themselves and water. So, I guess I'll just lead or sand production together here. So there we go. Oh, look at that. Or actually, I'm gonna make it like this. Grab another copy of those. So they're going to be mixed up nicely. Okay. So let's check out how the filtration plants will work. Since a filtration plant is needing a water input as well, we're going to check out how to put them down. So, first question is going to be, are they supplying each other with water? We're going to answer this question first. So, looks like I need to supply it with power. So this guy has water. Why is there no water in there? Did we do some mistake somewhere? So let's check it out. Ah, the pump is lacking power. Okay, so that's why. Okay, so this episode is going to be a little bit longer than I expected, but well, blame the biters. They did cost me the minutes, but it doesn't matter, I guess. Okay, now we should have the water we need. So I wonder how 11 machines use 60 units. So they need 5.714 units of sand each. Dear Lord. That's gonna be 3 fast inserters or 7 basic inserters. Okay, I'm gonna go for the fast inserters. So next up, this guy has water, and this guy has no water. So this went well. Okay. So these guys will be fed like this. We're going to go like that. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. So 6 on this side. And 5 on that side. Okay, they're going to produce the crystals we need. Going to do it like that. So I'm going to lead one of them right here. I don't need to do this. We can lead a simple pipe through here because I'm not gonna walk through this area anytime too soon again, but this will make sure everybody has his water. So let's input the recipes to everybody. Ugh. Big machines they are. Okay. So every one of those will need an input of, well, it's quite easy to satisfy the input for them. So what about long-handed inserters? They would need 5 of them and 2.5 for the output. Oh, so this is one of those recipes where we have some side product. I see. Okay. So, I'm going to take 1 tour around here. So this is quite tricky because of the 60 sand needed. So I'm going to do it like that. So this way I'm going to make 2 belts of 30 sand each. But there will be the last machine, which is living right here, which will be getting the excess output of both lines. So this should be giving me providing a steady throughput with materials for this bugger here. So what did it say? 3 fast inserters each. Okay, it's going to be quite a big one. So let's do this. This is way too much, but whatever. Whatever. The thing about inserters is they can only cost you energy while they're being used, so I don't mind putting down a few inserters too much. It's just some materials I dumped somewhere, too many. So I figured that I'm going to go for long-handed inserters to output this stuff, because this is the easiest way to do it, I think. So we're going to have a little bit more than 15 products per second from this array, so I'm going to do it like that. Okay. Whoop. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Let's do it like that. Okay. So they'll need 3 long-handed inserters to output each. There we go. Okay. It's that. And now we need the output belt from here as well. Okay. So I'm not going to record until I have all the smelters up. I'll just let's do it like that. I'll just finish up with what I had in mind here. So next up will be the place where everything gets back connected, and yeah, there we are. So the thing is, these guys should output, if everything works correctly, some stones, and I really don't like any stones in my production array. Going to... Oh, that's why. I was wondering why everything was so weird. It was acting out so weird. That's why we're filtering out the stones at this point. There we go. And I'm going to put them on this lane. And this lane will be splittered into into 2 yellow belts from here, which will be 15 units of quartz crystal each. So let's power it up and see if I worked properly here. But this should work as intended. The real tricky part about this is are the I'd say unwanted side products here in this scenario, the stones. Okay, there we go. using a few small ones in between wherever I can to save the costly poles. Speaking of poles, let's produce some more. Okay. Okay, this is some really hefty array of inserters. But there we go. So, next step are the crushers. Oops, I don't want to get rollered here. So, I'm using small ones, what the heck. Okay, so sand is getting transported here. Sand is getting picked up by the filtration plants, which are somehow lacking water. Why? Does this, why does this not connect? Do they really need a separate space there? Oh my goodness. If so, I'm completely screwed. So these pipes, So, okay. I think I've I found the mistake. Yeah. These guys only have a water input at one side. You guys will probably already noticed. Okay. So, now we can fix up everything. Okay. For a moment, I was a little bit concerned there. As you can see now, the end product of stones is being transported here, and my plan was to transport the stones back here. Let's drag them all the way. Into a little nifty splitter, so they'll get transferred back into the cycle. I haven't figured out if I want to, oh, that was good, put the smelter ring inside here or not, but well, I guess I'm running out of time here for a little bit, so let's put in some quartz crystals here and smelter our first own silicone. So here we go, guys. I'm going to end this episode here because obviously we're running out of time, and I'm going to figure out some nice little arrangement here. Maybe I'm going to make it a little bit more compact here. We're going to see. I haven't finished the design here, but with all the biter attacks and in between, I already thought as much that I might be needing a little bit more time for this one. So next up, we're going to finish the glass production here, and we're going to bring the silicon production to a completion. And yeah, so thanks for bearing with me, guys. I hope you enjoyed the show here. Okay, so for some reason they're not displaying the sound production. And yeah, see you guys next episode when we get closer to this beautiful field where the oil is lying. But I don't know if I'm getting there yet, or if we're going to have a complete episode with fortifications. I'm not sure yet. Until then, my friends, I hope you check out the next episode as well, and see you next time. Goodbye.